Hello everyone and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm here with the lovely Renee Lawless. You know her from the hit show on the Oprah Winfrey Network, The Haves and the Have-Nots. She breaks the lights. Catherine Pryor. We're going to have a great interview together. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it.
It's time to shine, time to shine. So shine on. Ooh, shine on. It's time to shine. It's time to shine. Now's the moment you were created for. And if you feel it's right, come on, let's go. You're in control. So tell me why you want.
And you are watching Cyrus Webb Presents. We're still in Los Angeles, so this is Conversations LA for us. And I have a guest with me that's been with me several times on the radio show. This is our very first time meeting in person. Renee Lawless is known to you all as Catherine Pryor from the hit show on the Oprah Winfrey Network, The Haves and the Have-Nots. We'll talk to her about that, but also about the journey of doing what she loves, to share that with all of you, and also what's to come. So Renee, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Joy, pleasure. Finally meet you in person, not just on the telephone.
Exactly. Now, this journey for you, and we'll talk about Catherine later, but I want to talk about Renee.
Catherine's not we already know about her. Let's just talk about it.
All right. What has this been like for you to have done? I remember our very first conversation together, that you were so gracious with your time then, and you have continued to be that over the years, since season 1. But what has this ride been like for you? We've talked about the onions of Catherine, but what has it been like for you to kind of share yourself in this journey, to experience it for yourself?
On a side note, I just got a new car. We all do that. I had a car that I had forever, and I've had it for 7 or 8 or 8 years, and I was going to just time to trade in and upgrade. I didn't get a Bentley or anything like that. I just kind of started, and I thought to myself, and I was driving away, and I thought, you just got a new car. And in the big picture, to a lot of people, that's no big deal, but it was a reminder that I have to pinch myself every day, because I just can't believe how my life has significantly changed in the last 5 years. How it significantly changed in 1 year. Going from stage, which I still love, it will always be home, it will always be where my roots are, but to this medium of television, something that I've always wanted to do, and just the warmness, the welcoming, the fan base that wherever I go, that I still don't get used to. It's not to say that sometimes I go, oh yeah, here it comes, but I just still get surprised when somebody calls out my name. That's still, and so for me, it's kind of like every day I have to pinch myself and be reminded how incredibly blessed that I have been on this journey. And to see how the have and have-nots has changed, and the journey of that show, not in combination with my own personal journey. Other things have been afforded me, opportunities have been afforded to me that I never thought possible. I have met actors that I admire and still admire, and have, I hesitate to use the word worship from afar, that you go up to meet somebody and they recognize you first, and you're like, what? What? And that still takes me back. So, what it's been like for Renee, it's been, life changing. I just keep thinking, when's the bottom going to fall out? When's it all going to go away? And I think we all think that. When you get a new job in corporate America, or whether you get a promotion or something, but especially the state of the economy over the past several years, we always wonder who's going to have a job tomorrow.
Sure.
And this could all end tomorrow, and I have to hopefully find something else, but I think the Lord's taking care of me, so I'm not worried.
Yeah. You have mentioned something consistently when we've talked, and that is the blessing. You just did it now, and I think for so many people who take things for granted, do you think realizing the blessing of it keeps you in a place where you don't take any of it for granted?
I can't afford to take any of it for granted. time in my life which, even though I've always been grateful and feeling blessed with everything the Lord has brought me, after Broadway, when I had my first Broadway show, and I thought, okay, this is, and part of it was my naivete. People aren't really understanding, once you're on Broadway, you're set. Once you're on a TV show, you're set. That is not the case. The Broadway show can close and you're back in unemployment line the next day, and you may or may not get another job. And when I went to Broadway, I had a national tour, I went to Broadway, and I had just left Broadway, and 9/11 hit. And it was 2 months after I left Broadway, 9/11 hit. And the climate in New York changed as far as the revolving door of actors coming and going. And literally a year later, I couldn't pay my rent. Literally a year later. And so, living in New York, you save your money, the cows come home, but rent's high in New York, I never worked there. So, I think I took too much for granted. And I thought that, okay, I'm set. You're on Broadway, and I'll get another Broadway show, or I'll get another thing. And then for a while, I got desk jobs, but I couldn't get another acting gig for a minute. And I learned that, you know what, you're going to kiss the ground for every next job that you get. And I thought I had been doing that up until then, but I really think I've gotten a little complacent. Gotcha. So now, and this job literally was divine intervention and a gift. So from the Lord. I mean, just the way it all happened, because I never saw this coming. And I do have to treat everything. I treat my new home a blessing, my new car a blessing. The fact that I wake up every morning and breathe is a blessing. When I've had a number of friends who are going through a lot of physical trauma. So I can't afford to take anything for granted. I'm a strong believer and I have a strong faith and a strong believer in the Lord and His gifts. But look at Job, who had everything, and then went through a time of testing. I mean, he lost it all and got it all back, but can't afford to.
And you have perfectly set up the haves and have-nots, right?
That's right, because you can have one end and you can have nothing else.
Right. Catherine Pryor has intrigued us since the very first time we saw her interviewing Hannah in the very first episode.
The very first time, but I still remember that interview. I worked the hardest on that scene than anything I think I've ever done. Yeah.
But we've seen you do some powerful scenes, of course, since then, that revealing to Hannah about the cancer.
Right.
Going through what you went through, of course, with Amanda.
Right.
And then almost losing Wyatt.
Right.
And then, of course...
Twice.
Wyatt is just like, we just don't know what's going to happen with Wyatt. And then, of course, you can't forget the husband, Jim, right? I mean, so when you talk about this...
Thorn on my side.
Yeah.
That's right.
But it's one that we can't stop watching. I mean, do you think part of the reason why she has resonated so well is because maybe not all of what Catherine's gone through, but there's people out there who can relate to some aspect of who she is?
Well, absolutely. It goes back to, I remember our first interviews. I said, 50 million women couldn't relate to having $50 million, but no. A lot of people can't relate to having, 50 or $250 million, but 250 women can relate to her problems.
Right.
And there are a lot of women. There are women, you hear about this all the time, that are in, on the surface, beautiful, wonderful marriages, and they're going through hell at home. There are a lot of families out there that on the surface, people think the family's got it together, these kids are incredible, and the kids are messed up. There are a lot of families that have gone through tragedy. There are a lot of families that go through children with chemical abuse, that have drug problems, and no matter what they do, no matter what they throw at them, this is life. Whether I have a lot of money or not, you could put me in a middle class, Catherine in a middle class home, and the problems will still be there.
Right.
And it has nothing to do, now granted, in my situation, we all think Jim's probably stuck it out with Catherine because of the money, but to some degree, like he said a few weeks ago near the end of this past season, he said to Catherine, you need me. And as much as she doesn't want to, Catherine don't need nobody, but it's good to have a partner in crime.
Right.
And I don't mean that literally as far as, committing a crime, but they are good partners.
Right.
they are not good in it as they're not. They may not be a great husband and wife, but they're good partners. I think they would have been great had they been a joint business partner and never gotten married. But you're right. But I don't think the one thing about Catherine. Now I don't know how my boss is writing the show, but the one thing about Catherine, she always has a back door. I don't think you're going to see her losing all of her money.
Yeah.
She will always have something put away or something, unlike her husband.
Right.
He'll spend it in a day.
Right.
She will always go into self-protection. She will take care of herself first because of her legacy.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people out there too, especially in the South, that can relate to a family name. Or a family legacy, even the middle class or even a corporate. Your name is important.
Yeah, I was taught that your name
is paramount.
Right. So for you, I mean, as you said, another great setup there because we don't know what's coming up next for her. We don't know where she will end up. But how much fun is it to have Hannah back in your life?
Thank you. I love having Hannah back in my life. There for a while, I thought, am I ever going to do another scene with you? And it got to the point, I thought, it's not actually the fact that Catherine gets out of the house again, but it's always a joy not only as an actress, but on a personal level. I love Crystal Fox to death. And so, as much as Catherine likes having Hannah back in her life, Renee Lawless likes being on set with Crystal Fox. You know what I mean? Right. She's the easiest person to do a scene with, the easiest person to play off of because she's so real and so grounded, and I don't have to work at it. With doing something with her isn't work.
Gotcha. Well, you all, one of the things that I've heard from other cast members and you talked about is you all film quite quickly.
Understatement of the year.
I mean, it's like you guys, it take us, we're excited about the season, you guys wrap that up in like 2 or 3 days, right?
Side note, I just shot an independent film for a friend over this past weekend, and it wasn't SAG ultra low budget where you got like $150,000 budget. We're talking zero. I mean, we're talking bare bones. But I did it as a friend, as a favor, because I wanted to be part of this particular part. Just very short. It's just a short thing. I remember it took us almost 8 hours to do a scene because we didn't have the big cameras and stuff. Right. To set this thing up, this scene should have taken at the max for an independent for what they had should have taken no more than 1 to 2 hours time. Oh. If Tyler had shot it, we would have been out in 5 minutes. It took 8 hours to do, and I'm used to shooting in 5 minutes. Right. Literally, I sat there and I went, I'd have only done a whole damn episode. In 8 hours, that's an episode and a half.
You talk about that, and I mean, like you said, you've been able to work with such amazing people on this project, and the doors continue to open. Yeah. It goes back to the blessing that we talked about. Is that one of the big lessons that you hope our audience takes away, that we never know where an opportunity might lead to?
You're right, and exactly. You never know where an opportunity is going to lead. While I'm still pursuing other acting opportunities, some other doors have now opened up to me through my crafting. And I used to do homework in my family and some other things, as well as some potential music opportunities. Oh, wow. And just something as easily as going to a party. Forgive me if anyone who's invited me to a party listens to this. And I meant like a specific gala type of party. I'm talking about a get-together at your house, although. But when you see, trust me, actors sometimes don't always want to do half the red carpets they have to do. It's usually to keep their face in the public eye and stuff like that. But a lot of these galas or benefits or parties or pick something that you see a celebrity at, there is a twofold. You're there to network. You're there to be seen, yes, but you're also there because you don't know who else is there you could meet or rub shoulders with that could potentially help you. Now, you're not going and you're not zeroing in on those people, but you never know who's going to be standing in the buffet line with you. You know, you don't know who you're going to be seated with. You don't know who's going to spill their drink on you. I mean, literally. I've been able to go to some events and rub shoulders with people that, like, time had gone by and I get a phone call out of nowhere. Hey, are you free for that type thing? So yeah, you're right. You never know who you're going to meet.
You never know. So you all keep that in mind as you're looking at opportunities as our guest is today. Again, everyone, Miss Renee Lawless has been with us. The very first time meeting her in person, and I'm so excited about this. Again, the haves and have-nots is where you can be able to see her really soon, but a lot of great things are going on with her, as she said. So Renee, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you?
You can always reach out to, stay connected on Facebook at Renee Lawless. There's Instagram at Renee Lawless, Twitter, Ms. Renee Lawless. What else those things? I don't really do Snap and Chat, so, I do.
Yeah.
And if they invent another social media platform, I know that y'all are on your own, because I just got these 3 things down as it is, So. And I have ReneeLawless.com. I'm not as quick sometimes to answer if you email me on that, but you can find out about things there.
All right, so stay connected with her. Renee, thank you so much for the time.
Oh, thank you. I hope I answered all the questions.
You did amazing, as I knew you were going to be.
Oh, thank you.
And we thank you, our viewers, for tuning into this segment of Cyrus Webb Presents.